Welcome back to SHIB Planet, everyone. This is Ace. Today I want to discuss what the impact of a Coinbase listing will be on Shiba Inu's price going forward. Now, as you know, one of the biggest catalysts that Shiba Inu is waiting on to increase its user base is from a Coinbase listing. Today's video will highlight just how important this is and also show you what we can do as a community to potentially speed things along. Okay, let me start by laying a foundation, and to illustrate it like this. Right now, Shiba Inu has around 640,000 holders and has held an average market cap of around 3.5 billion since May of this year. Now, at any given point in time, SHIB has floated between the top 30 and the top 50 cryptocurrency. Now, it's important to note that in terms of numbers, most holders hold a relatively small balances, and they're holding balances of less than 500 million SHIB. In fact, an analysis of wallet addresses would reveal that, firstly, most volume comes from big wallets, which is like a whale type wallets, and the majority of holders, which are these people here, and they make up for less than 10% of the trading volume. In fact, over the past 3 months, there's been a slight decline in wallet addresses, which are between 1 billion and 1 trillion over here. But there's also conversely been a huge influx of new holders who hold relatively small balances, and this has helped to offset any decline over the past few months. Now, this is the reason for SHIB's sideways movement over the past few months consolidation. Now, but did you know that of that movement, 25% of that movement actually comes from centralized exchanges? Today's video will focus on the importance of this particular category. Just a note, I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. These videos are for information and entertainment purposes only. Okay. Now, as most of you know, there are two mechanisms from which a cryptocurrency can grow. One is by manipulating the supply, either through minting or burning, and the other is by increasing demand. And this is achieved usually by gaining and attaining and retaining holders. Now, let me explain some of the unique challenges which SHIB faces regarding demand and market cap. Okay, here we go. So now meme coins, they behave very different to traditional cryptos. They don't adhere to traditional fundamentals. Now, for the purposes of this video, a fundamentalist is someone who typically has a history in investing in centralized finance like stocks or even real estate, and they generally apply the same principles of that style of investing to cryptocurrency. Now, when the fundamentalist decides on a crypto investment, this is typically what they look at. So what are these? Okay, actually, I wanted to show you something. This is typically what they look at. This is an article from Swissborg. How is fundamental analysis applied to crypto? Fundamental analysis is a popular method for investing in the stock market, but what about crypto? While cryptocurrencies aren't technically securities, they do behave like them, often more than an actual currency. Crypto trading bears many similarities to stock trading, so users can apply some of the same concepts. When people start investing in crypto, they may put all of their money in currencies with strong recent growth. While these may show impressive short-term results, they can quickly shift in the opposite direction. Like traditional stocks, a cryptocurrency's current market value or performance may not reflect its real value. So, having said that, what are some of these techniques which they're talking about? So these are some of the techniques which traditional fundamentalists use when they are evaluating cryptocurrency. So the first ones are obviously financial, and I'll just open that up. So with financial, this is what they do. They look at the market cap first, and this helps them to determine what the market thinks of an asset. I like to define market cap as the dollar value measure of confidence which people have placed in a digital asset. A low number may indicate either an undervalued asset or just a low value asset. Then they look at the supply. Now, this metric, it helps them determine the rate at which their investment might grow, and it helps measure the potential volatility. Now, a low number typically suggests low volatility and also a slower paced gain or vice versa. And then after that, then they'll look at a project's value, what I like to call value metrics. So you'll find that the first thing they'll ask is what real world problem does this project solve? Is it a blockchain scalability or sustainability like Cardano? Is it interoperability like Atom? Now, this is often called use case, and you probably see that in many comments which people clap back about SHIB and even Doge sometimes. And then the next thing that people will tend to ask is who's the target audience, and they do this to see the longevity of the project, because looking at the target, it's a measure of how long the problem is going to be around so that the project can benefit. And then they'll also have a look at the team, who's behind the project, their credentials, developers, and they do this in order to establish trust. At least that's how it's done in the traditional way. And finally, they look at sentiment. This is market sentiment. Basically, it's basically what other people say about this project, including rumors. So now, when traditional investors look at meme coins almost always fail all, if not most, of these tests here. But Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, they break all these traditional rules, and it really frustrates traditional fundamentalists. For instance, the only thing, at least on those value metrics, which SHIB and Doge tick is typically market cap, because both our market caps are in the top 50 at any given point, and we have a high number of holders. Now, however, both our supplies are ridiculously high, and Dogecoin is even unlimited. And meme coins don't solve traditional world crypto problems. Instead, they focus on community, which brings into question their use case or intended target audience. Also, Doge started out as a joke, and SHIB is literally an experiment. And meme coins, they typically run in a decentralized, anonymous manner, and it's not always easy to have faces and identities. And for market sentiment, meme coins are seen either as jokes, scams, or moonshot attempts. Now, these are some of the main reasons which seasoned investors they stay away from meme coins. Now, the fastest way a meme coin can grow is by sheer numbers and by people and appealing to people who are new to crypto, since obviously fundamentalists are going to stay away from us. And when this happens, this then increases their market cap. And when this happens enough, it makes fundamentalists take a second look. This is exactly what happened to Dogecoin, and it happened briefly to Shiba Inu in May of this year. And part of the reason Doge grew so quickly was that it was already listed on some big exchanges, and so it could quickly capitalize on the high demand at that time. The only things fundamentalists, the only thing which fundamentalists can't ignore is for too long is market cap. That's why they quickly went silent after Doge shot up to the top 10 status and has stayed there ever since. However, and they're not going to let another meme coin pull a fast one on them again, in my view. And that's one of the reasons why they're so vocal against SHIB. It's because we offend everything which their fundamentals aim to achieve, and yet we still hold strong, steady, and our holders just keep on growing. And that's precisely why we need Coinbase before the next major bull run, in my opinion. Now, our non-fundamental nature is our very strength. We are a gateway to a new class of investor, which the fundamentalists haven't accounted for in their models. We attract people who are both new to crypto and new to investing in general, because our zeros here, they translate to low risk in a new investor's mind. And that's why this group of investors is growing so fast. which I showed you over here. That's why this group of investors is growing so fast. They may not have big balances, but they have big voices in social media. And that's one of the best forms of marketing. Now, a Coinbase listing is expected to give Shiba Inu the much needed boost and push which it needs to go particularly beyond the 3.5 billion market cap and ultimately over the 10,000 barrier. SHIB has already proved that it has sideways motion, and sideways motion is an indication of a solid base of long-term investors. But did you know that when Binance listed SHIB, it went up by over 100%, according to the Sun newspaper, and this was partly because of the conditions at that time, and also the very large user base which Binance has. Now, a significant portion of our current 3.5 billion holders, they actually came from Binance, and it wasn't without controversy. I'll see if I can find an article. This is an article from shortly after the Binance listing. Shiba Inu hits another exchange as SHIB deposits overwhelm Binance. There's a new dog in town, and it's wasting no time in marking its territory. You guys probably remember that. Shiba Inu was listed on 3 different cryptocurrency exchanges in the past 48 hours after an explosive 966% surge in the same time frame sent the token to 18th in the market capitalization rankings. That's actually significant. No wonder we ruffled feathers, because we came literally out of nowhere. And speaking of ruffling feathers, these are a couple of tweets which happened, if not the day after, then on that day. Somebody asked, "What is happening? Shiba Inu just pumped 146% after its Binance listing. I give up." And CZ, the CEO of Binance, he just replied, "Meme season." But then the concerns kept on coming. Then he had to reply. He said, "Some have voiced concern about SHIB listing. We follow users. There's a large number of users demanding it, to the point where we ran out of ETH deposit addresses due to SHIB today. Never happened before for any other ERC20 token." And that's what happened at that point there. So why am I bringing these up? Now, if you compare Binance and Coinbase, now in terms of active users, they are nearly identical in terms of active users. So this is one of the metrics which I'm using to see the intensity of a Coinbase listing, because they have virtually the same amount of active users. I know Coinbase may have even more inactive users. I think it's got 3.5 million, but at the moment they have about 13.5 million active users. Now, in a bull run, which was what happened. These are the conditions which happened when Binance listed. There was a bull run, and also Bitcoin had just been rallying. It had just hit its all-time high. So if these conditions happen, and right now we are in a bull run, and if the market continues to go towards where it's projected, the same conditions which happened when Binance listed might coincide with when Coinbase listed, and that's the kind of result we are likely to expect. So how do we know this particular listing will bring the same boost? Well, it's because SHIB was able to jump 30% alone just on the news of its Coinbase listing. Because at some point we were listed temporarily on Coinbase Pro, and we jumped up just on the news alone. How much more when the listings actually occur? Now, here's the Coinbase Pro listing, which came on Twitter. And here's a snapshot of the 30% increase on just on the news alone. Now, let's have a look at the impact of previous or recent Coinbase listings on some tokens. Now, just for example's sake, I know Coinbase lists quite regularly. I just took an example from August 12th, and here's some tokens which Coinbase listed: Axie Infinity, Wrapped Luna, TrueFi, and Request on the 12th of August. And here, this is the corresponding impact of listing these tokens. Axie Infinity, as most of you know, it surged 30% after Coinbase Pro listing, and if you've been monitoring this account, it surged even more after that. And here's that Wrapped Luna. Wrapped Luna, it moved slightly up, during that time, but not so much until a few days later. Then TrueFi and pretty much all the other tokens, pretty much like clockwork, after the listing, it shot up. Here's the next one, the Request token, pretty much like clockwork. After the announcement of the listing, 12th of August, the price went up as well. And here's Axie Infinity, as you already know, 12th of August, it also went up. So that's why I think a Coinbase listing at the right time is just the right catalyst we need to get the ball rolling. I think SHIB will pop because of the community and the reach that it has to a new class of investor. That's pretty much in my opinion. After all, we have 640,000 holders and growing, and just as many, if not more, in social medias. Many of you are on the Discord and the Twitter and on the Telegram, I think. And another important factor is we are on over 1 million watch lists. And this feed is typically only matched by a handful of other top 10 cryptos. I had a look at some of the cryptos in the top 10, and even projects like Uniswap, Solana, and even Polkadot don't have any of that near that much. Polkadot has the closest with about 600,000, and that says to me that people are watching. That it says to me that people are watching and waiting for a reason to be invested. They've always seen us move sideways, and they're watching and as we are growing our ecosystem. They also want to see where this experiment of Ryoshis is headed, even if they don't admit it. So lastly, so what's the delay? So now, according to Coinbase, they're experiencing technical issues. It says here, we're experiencing technical issues that will temporarily delay the launch of SHIB at Coinbase Pro. And it just continues on with that. Well, that's that's their excuse. I personally don't fully believe this is the case. From what I know, ERC-20 tokens are amongst the simplest to list on any exchange. I also did a Google search for the exact comment on Coinbase, on Google, which Coinbase typically used in these situations, and I found that it happened to Solana too. Let me just scroll here. At some time in May, I think it was the 22nd of May, this happened to Solana. And this issue which they had, it was fixed after 2 months. Now, it's been a little over 2 months for SHIB now. In fact, when SHIB's announcement came was when Solana was finally listed. So by that, we also should be listed round about now. But I suppose we'll continue to be patient. So my suggestion from what I read from some of the comments is that if you have a Coinbase account, or if you don't, you need to get a Coinbase account, and if you add SHIB to the watch list, that might help the speed things along. Because I heard that this is a prioritization metrics which they use, which could help things along. Okay, let's see what a potential Coinbase listing might do to the price. I'm just going to quickly add about 1 billion. Cool. Since that's about a third. So if a repeat, at a minimum, if a repeat happens, that will push us into, we'll be able to eat a zero, and we'll be well and truly into the tens. And at this market cap here, 4229, let's see what ranking that would place us at. 4229. At least it should bump us up quite a bit. We'll be at this current rate, we'll probably be back in the top 40, because I think we are, yeah, we'll be in the top 40, top 37 at this current market. And that is just a quick simulation, and it's likely that we could even bump up, but it'll be definitely a welcome increase when that happens. Thanks very much for watching, guys. And as for me, that's it from me, everyone. Do you think Coinbase listing would be everything which we hoped it would be? This is Ace. Thanks for watching, everyone. Peace.